issue with setting goals, every goal starts with a dream. We don't dream big enough. 20th century model, we don't dream big enough. Somehow dreaming big it's boastful, or it's not reasonable, or who are you to think that you can achieve that, particularly in lower class environments. So here's the challenge with it. If I shook you in the middle of the night and said, start this sentence for me, survival of the fittest. We are raised from day one. It's like we're hardwired. Survival of the fittest. Now, it's good to be fit, right? Healthy. And it's good to survive, fight and flight. But the kind of survival that we're talking about leads us to a pretty dangerous cycle. And I use the word dangerous intentionally. Because from survival, the only place we can go to is measurement. X number of us in the room, X amount of oxygen. We need to measure, right? And once we begin to measure, we go to fear. Uh-oh, what do we do when it runs out? And from fear, we go to scarcity. And we live our lives in scarcity. We don't dream big. We don't communicate big. We don't show up big. Because we have this fear, which isn't fight or flight. It's not the amygdala gland. It's the fear of false expectations appearing real, failure expected and realized. It's what we create based on limiting beliefs that we have in our head that we've held since we're 3 or 4 or 5 years old. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not handsome enough. It's usually pretty basic stuff. And those things can be, you can't flip them and say, I'm not smart enough to be smart enough, because you're Jeff Wright, 59 years, you're not smart enough. But I can say that if I prepare for the meeting and do my research, then it'll be a successful meeting. And that's how you take limiting beliefs and reframe them. It's if-then statements. It's a great way to do it. The other conversation would be for responsible corporate citizens to say, you know what? This is real. We need to change our manufacturing. We need to make X amount of changes. We need to encourage our employees. We need to give our employees, in fact, if they install solar paneling, the employer is going to give them some type of response, some kind of reward for that. That's an abundant conversation to have with that, as far as climate change is concerned in my mind. I look around, Montgomery County in 2017, 1/4 of its population is in danger of falling below the poverty line. It's one of Montgomery County's greatest hidden secrets. The issue of hunger in this county, kids going to school hungry in 2017, how's that possible? It's possible because we live in scarcity. We don't say, how do we all get together and solve this problem? Which is why I talk, again, it's my purpose, building community by knocking down silos. Because you can't solve hunger if you don't improve schools, if you don't have affordable housing, if you don't have people who disagree with one another talking to one another. I don't know if that answers.
I just thought of an answer. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this thing with Elon Musk when he talks about these solar roof tiles that he puts on. Now that it's this completely different conversation when you hear him talk. It's like, no, we're smart people. We can figure this out. All work.
Yeah. I mean, you look around that there are 100 and something going on. Kids are dying of hunger every day, happening in Syria. Approach them as because they're not solvable, as opposed to a Musk or other people who go and say, no, we need to solve it, because if we don't, we're all going to die. So bring abundance to it. Have the abundant conversation. And abundance is a word that's overused a lot these days, but I think it's an important word. Nahid? So Nahid is handing out some workshops, workbooks. I'm going to ask you not to look ahead, but if you really have to, I won't call you out. Please.